Okay, good morning, namaste. Um, so we are welcome to the live show, a live program called Hindus talking about Hindumisia worldwide. You know how Hindus are being the hatred towards Hindus in worldwide in diaspora as well as in India. So that's the topic today. I mean, on that show on that platform, we are our topic today is why do Hindus need a Hindu independent sovereign nation? Even though Hindus have a huge majority country, India, and Hindus, many is perceived as a Hindu-friendly country and Hindu-friendly constitution and Hindu-friendly laws and Hindu-friendly leaders. So everything seems to be hunky-dory. Not only that, we have quite presence, a lot of sizable presence in Sri Lanka, Maldives, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Bali, pretty much all over almost all the Western countries. We almost all the Western countries, we have, we can practice whatever we want as Hindus. And so if that's the case, do Hindus need an independent sovereign country for Hindus? So that's a discussion. So who wants to? So then that's a discussion. So we'll go ahead and do with a prayer. Then after that we'll talk about what do you call the format. Om Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gana Sadrusham Tattvamasya Adilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Thank you, Swamiji, for everything today. Okay, so who wants to go first? Nitya Jnanatmananda, Renazan, and Gauri Bharata are the guests today. Some are going to talk in favor of Kailasa. Some are saying, okay, why do we need? So that's a discussion going on in the world today. And so among diaspora, Hindu diaspora, around the world as well as in India. So that's the topic of the today among the Hindus worldwide, among the worldwide Hindus. Okay, so Sri Jnanatma, so what do you think? What is the reason for people to have an independent, sovereign Hindu nation? Is there a need? Okay, so that's the thing, right? So the format of this is I'm the moderator, and Gauri Bhartananda has also asked questions about that. Why do we need? And then I'll make sure that the format works in a Hindu style. So far, all of our life, Hindu's life, last 200 years, we have been looked at from the Western lens, Western drishti. Towards. Then we also started because of the British invasion and British ruled, because India was a British colony until recently, until 70 years ago. So we have imbibed without understanding what's happening, right? So that's exactly the problem. So we wanted to now reverse that gauge, right? So now we want to look at Hindus and Hinduism from Hindus' drishti, reversing the gauge. That's what we learned this from famous, the well-known Indologist, Sri Raju Malhotra. Okay, so the format is a Hindu format. It's called, this has got multiple names. Kshatriya Artha. Kshatriya Artha means it's a discussion about philosophy or things like that. And what do we do? There's a Purva Paksha and Uttar Paksha. Purva Paksha means, let's say Sri Jnanatma makes a statement why we need a Hindu country. And Gauri Bhartaya would say, and he will first summarize what Sri Nitya Jnanatma Nanda said, right? And then, so after he summarizes, Sri Jnanatma agrees with what the summarization of Gauri Bhartaya. Once Gauri Bhartaya gets the agreement that that's what he meant, then Gauri Bhartaya will respond to what Jnanatmaya said. Then after Gauri Bhartaya finishes, then Sri Jnanatmaya is, what does he do? He will repeat what he heard is a response. And once he secures the agreement from Gauri Bhattaya, then he's going to respond. It's going to go on until we exhaust. Okay, this is a format. And then what happens? There is a thing. There are in Hinduism there are three law. There are three in a logic. There are three things. In a Western philosophy, there are only two. One is logic and illogic. But in Hindu philosophy, there are three. One is called tarka, means logic. Kutarka means illogic, and then vitarka. So vitarka is a bigger than these two logic and is also called higher logic or the divine logic. Right? So that's exactly. Does it make sense? Does it make all of you? We cannot hear you, Maharaj. Sorry, you cannot hear you. Yeah, Jnanatmaya, we cannot hear you.
Yes, it makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so continue. See Jnanatmaya. So Jnanatmaya. So do you believe Hindus need an independent sovereign country, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's yeah, it's a kind of a thing like basically like, you know, one of the things is there's only one civilization that was living 5,000 years ago that is also alive in the same form today. There's only one civilization. Even if you look back, you could find 49 ancient civilizations. There's only one remaining that maintain that form. So there's something unique and special about it. There's a lot of different aspects about that. You know, there's things, if you look at, I mean, there's many different, you know, the written history, even documented Tamil Sangam, you know, 11,000 years ago. There's, you know, the group of all the Hindu kings bringing all the artists, dancers, performers, writers, thinkers, philosophers to grow and preserve and enrich those ancient 56 Hindu nations with this enlightenment knowledge that liberates everyone and has a path for everyone, but it comes from a nonviolent context and doesn't require conversion or killing others. So if you want that, you know, actually it's, in this sense, even if you look at modernity, and even if you look at all civilizations, Roman, Greek, if you look at civilizations, what do they do when they grow? And they're growing and they're starting to have this intention of overgrowing their boundaries. What do they do? And you know, it comes from a microcosmic level of an individual to the macrocosmic level of how the human society functions as a whole. But the fact is, if you have an inner violence or an inner incompletion, or there's parts of you that you're not complete with and powerful about, then you're naturally going to protect those things from others, and you're not going to be able to be open to accept and enrich anything from others. So this is in a lot of ways how violence works. And so as long as that individual is not able to be free of violence and live in a non-violent way of ahimsa from the space of Advaita, then we're going to engage in violence with others. And obviously we see that happening on planet Earth all the time. There's been, over the past few thousand years, more than average of one warrior per year. So there's more thousands of wars in the last couple thousand years than there are that many years. So this is a continuous pattern that humanity is showing. So one of the beautiful, unique points of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is this proven ability to live with the intention of enriching others rather than the need to change others. And so in that sense, it's the only proven way for humans to live together without killing each other. Because there has to be an acceptance that I'm willing to renounce my inner violence, self-hatred, powerlessness, and incompletions in order to enrich the society. So this is what the Varnashrama Dharma is, that is, wrong, that is how colonizers framed the Hindu society as something called caste, and that it was exploitative, because that's sort of the nature of sort of automatic human living without removing their violence, is naturally to see that violence in others and attribute that violence not to me but to others. So that's one of the unique aspects, is that yes, if we want a future that can accept any and all gods and any and all traditions, and requires nonviolence, and gives you the opportunity to live that the goal of your life is contributing to society, not what do I, so much of society is what do I need to grab and hold for myself so that I can survive, so that I don't die or don't get destroyed. And so naturally we're looking to grab things from others and not share it with them. So yeah, if you want the only proven civilization, the only civilization that was alive 5,000 years ago and is alive today, if you want that, the only proven way for humans to live and survive, and that Sanatana Hindu Dharma is rooted in these concepts of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the world as one family, Advaita, oneness, and Ahimsa, nonviolence, the sustainable way of enriching myself and others, then we definitely need a place that allows all the powerfulness, because it's not a powerless way of living, which is sort of a wrong way that a lot of people interpret ahimsa, that it means you have to be powerless. So yeah, if we want to preserve this ancient enlightenment ecosystem that has produced so many great living enlightened masters that are able to give up the body at will, because of living from the space of nonviolence. If we want that, and we want, the oldest proven way of living, and from the space of nonviolence, that through Varnashrama Dharma has the goal of providing liberation for everyone, no matter what your job is or what your goals are or what your desires are, and doing that in a proven, sustainable way, then we need, that's an important and powerful way to live. So we need a civilization that allows for that to happen. So we definitely, like Plato's philosopher king from the Republic is this ideal that the king would be the philosopher. And so that was his ideal, and like 50,000 people would be the ideal city size. So that was an ideal that he wrote about and proselytized. That may happen at some point. That's what Sanatana Hindu Dharma did for tens of thousands of years. So if we want that, to be alive and not destroyed, then it's necessary, because it has many powerful ways to live, and that has to be allowed. So yes.
Awesome, Maharaj. Awesome, yeah. So then Gauri Bhartaya, so you can summarize and then continue.
Yeah. So I'll first summarize. So what Sri Gyanatma was articulating was about the root of non-violent philosophy in Hinduism, and how it has a deep spiritual tradition of addressing the inner violence in a human being, which is the root of all conflict. And he spoke about how Plato prophesied about a philosopher king running a small city-state, and he also mentioned that, Sri Gyanatma also mentioned that Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been running this for many centuries. And Hindu civilization is the oldest and the surviving civilization. And it is needed for, it has a system of enriching people rather than converting, and it is needed for maintaining peace in the world. Did I summarize you correctly, completely?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to say complete, but yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said.
So basically,
What did I miss out?
Continue.
I mean, I'm not feeling that anything was missed.
Like, did I get the essence right? Did I miss out any key points?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
So basically, a peaceful coexistence. They never went and killed others. They don't convert. Hindus don't convert. They never converted. It's been one of the oldest living civilization, and is a peaceful coexistence. And they then go and then say, hey, my way or the highway, and let's have that. There is no inner violence towards anybody. You accept all gods, all traditions, either faith or no faith. Everything is accepted. You believe in God, you don't believe in God, or you believe in different ways. Everything is acceptable. So that means it's truly a pluralistic view of living, and there is no inner violence. Since there is no, for an individual, there is no, as a Hindu, there is no inner violence in that person. So that means as a society, the whole thing, there is no inner violence towards others, right? Either the others, they're saying, oh, these guys not my Hindu, so let's get rid of him, let's persecute him, that kind of thing. So basically, a peaceful coexistence, live, let live. Isn't that the overall thing you said? And then you also talked about the Sangam literature, and also the kings from the south, and how they have then enriched people. And I think that's all. I just wanted to help you out in summary. So did I add more points? Did I miss anything, or did I go? Or did I say things out of line from your thinking?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's a lot deeper and more powerful than just live and let live, and that it's not that anything's acceptable. It's not that. Like, there's no space for powerfulness. It's an extremely powerful way of living, but from the space of nonviolence. So yeah, the thing is, it's not that the Dharma is this. The Dharma is like that, the flow of the existence. So when when the sun rises in the morning, the life wakes up and lives, and when it goes down, the existence takes the rest. So it's more about being open to all the possibilities. But yeah, the only point of that, there's a spiritual rooted powerfulness of each person, having a consciousness, and that the consciousness has a source, and we can experience that in powerful ways. So it's based in giving you a solution for why you have life, for why life exists. That's why it lasts. It's not just about being nice. It's not just about turn the other cheek. There's an intense powerfulness involved in being what you are, and being trained into ahimsa, into how can we accept or enrich everyone's life, no matter what it is, the path that they're on. So it's not so there are certain aspects to that, and there's a long tradition of living enlightened masters, which is crucial. So there are certain aspects there. It's an intense science. It's an intense science of manifesting consciousness, that's real and works and is reproducible and is written down as a science. So those are some of the really powerful aspects, which is exactly why we need a place that's safe, where Sanatana Hindu Dharma has political legitimacy, social legitimacy, spiritual legitimacy, and it's protected. so yeah, so those the aspects, the spiritual context, and the context of consciousness, that the consciousness enters into the human body, and that is our manifestation. You know, it's like we're not speaking about a set of laws and rules. You know, even the yoga it's a coding of consciousness. It's a map of your consciousness, and that's why it works for everyone, because it addresses the consciousness manifesting in human form. So that's one of the things. Is it's not just a social system. So, and those spiritual, you know, the spiritual context and root of that, and being that it's that we come from the perspective that the source consciousness is manifesting through each of us, and that means that we are connected at the source. And so, you know, any violence I do against someone else is violence against myself. So yeah, so that spiritual context cannot be removed, and the spiritual powerfulness, and that context of consciousness manifesting as and through us. So there are those sorts of aspects, which is the grand narrative of Hinduism, is that again and again, when the collective consciousness of humanity becomes degraded and lowered, the pure consciousness manifests in human form on planet Earth to dispel the delusion of the humanity. This is the grand narrative of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, that again and again, time and time again, the supreme consciousness lands in human form to liberate the humanity. So that context cannot be removed and cannot be overlooked, because that is the cycle of consciousness spending a short number of years, 70 years, 100 years here, and then you know, that life came into this body. When this body falls down, that life has to go somewhere else. And when someone's body is laying on the ground, you don't say, there they are sitting dead. You say, their life left the body. There's their dead body. So that life is going some other place. So Sanatana Dharma addresses that, not just 70 years on this planet.
Okay, I'll try to summarize. There is a lot of detailed philosophy of Sanatana Hindu Dharma that you have given about living powerfully, spiritual practice, yoga being the encoding of the consciousness, and you know, multiple rebirths and super consciousness coming down whenever there is too much of imbalance, so on and so forth. And you said you also need a place where you have political, social, and spiritual, and you know, other legitimacies. And that is the reason that you want a Hindu nation. Did I get the summary right? The essence of your argument, correct?
Yeah, and I mean it's yeah, and sure, and it's no, not even so much that I want, you know, that I'm wanting a Hindu nation. It's there are certain aspects like this. You know, this ancient science that is created. You know, Vivekananda, Yogananda, Ramana Maharishi, Bhogar, Patanjali. You know, yoga, Ayurveda is so well known around the world for so many reasons, and you know, the number of miracle temples in India is unbelievable, and you know, it's you know, it's a concerted attack on humanity that is not made, you know, one of the most popularly known things on planet Earth is these incredible temples, Kailasha Temple, Ellora Caves. You know that is not, you know, known to humanity and made as a big deal. But yeah, so it's you know, one of the Shastra references that defines the word Hindu and what is a Hindu tells about that fleeing from unconscious invaders, the Hindus crossed the mountains. And that's one of the Shastric references where the word Hindu is used. And so to in order to allow for all the aspects of Sanatana Hindu Dharma to be preserved and practiced as per Shastra, which is the source of all Hindu traditions, is the Vedas Agamas. So yeah, that system itself has to be allowed and protected. The living lifestyle of living as per Vedas Agamas has to be enshrined in constitution. Because if it's not, like we see with anti-superstition laws, Hindus are not allowed to use spiritual healing. Hindus are not allowed to use their own consciousness to heal themselves. So many things, fire walking, lemon piercing, so many of these solutions for getting an immunity boost without using addictive pharmaceuticals that cause harmful long-term side effects. Anti-superstition laws and others are preventing Hindus from using yoga, using Ayurveda, using the power of your own being, the power of your own body to make itself active and alive. So legally making it illegal for you to use the power of your own existence to live and to manifest yourself as powerfulness. Literally, the legal system is written that you cannot do that. So not even speaking even of Hindus or Hinduism or Sanatana Hindu Dharma, but for you to be able to live in the powerful way that is non-violent, and for you to keep your body happy and healthy by doing these immunity practices, such as fire walking, lemon piercing, etc. Spiritual conscious healing, so literally, the legislation comes from the inner self-hatred, lack of acceptance, the low inner image of the humanity, feeling that violence and instability and frustration comes in the form of legislation that you are not allowed to heal yourself, that you cannot do that. See, I don't know how you can heal yourself. I don't know how to do it. Then how am I legislating that you cannot? So that is the state and status that we see in places like Constitution of India and the laws that are being enacted specifically against Hindu lifestyle. How can anyone say you're not legally permitted to heal yourself by using your own consciousness? That's what yogis from time immemorial do. When Hindus have a problem, you sit and manifest a solution. Create that space inside and it manifests outside. That's what we do. So that violence is happening to not let the Hindus sit. Don't let the Hindu guru sit. Giving a court order to silence a guru. Cannot speak. So this attack comes from the inner violence to say, I'm not settled with myself. So naturally, I know the violence that goes on in me. When you're sitting, you must have the same. So before you kill me, I'll kill you. So it comes in the form of legislation. But yeah, from that point to say that you cannot legally, so many traditions are even banned. Avoiding to remember the name, but rolling, you do a circumambulation of a temple by rolling. You put water on the ground generally and you roll your body. It's an extremely powerful practice to remove violence and laziness, tamas, from the body. Even that practice is banned. Women, female bodies forced into Sabrimala temple, which is an ecosystem specifically to heal and with other purposes, specifically to heal male bodies of that violence. How many problems in society we have with alcoholism, male violence against women, male violence against each other, drug abuse. The Sabrimala ecosystem is to make sure that they do the practice 42 days per year. They get the blessings from everyone in the community to make sure the males don't have violence, are not having a eating habit that is violent, killing others, not taking alcohol, abstaining from lustuous relationships, and binding together the male members of the community to exhaust that violence that comes from the buildup of testosterone and so many things. Yoga is giving that liberation to an entire civilization just in a simple celebratory practice. So so the female reproductive system moving into that strong energy field that is specifically designed to heal the male body system is very detrimental to the female body, and also that in those scenarios, that strong feminine energy can have an impact on the delicate balance of that system. So the legislation is destroying your ability to live non-violently, to drop your violent patterns. How can a legislation say, you're not able to join with your brothers and sisters and go on a joyous, non-violent practice every year to make sure that you're living non-violence, not exploiting each other, not exploiting women? So when it goes to that extent, then yeah, you need a protection from that.
I'll summarize. Basically, what you mentioned was there was some kind of the Indian Constitution restricts certain spiritual practices of Hindu traditions, and because of that misunderstanding, they have passed in certain legislations which restrict even certain spiritual healing traditions, and interfered with certain religious, socio-religious structures of different institutions like Sabrimala, and they have jailed and gagged order, given a gag order against one yogi and a guru, and that are the reasons, in order to get protection, that is the reasons why you want to create a Hindu nation.
No, like that, there are many reasons. One is the piercing, right? This is a traditional way for fire walking, and then the piercing with lemons, and then practice the way they see. And then one of the well-known, worldwide well-known guru, public, we all call them, fondly Swamiji, but the public calls him Swami Nityananda. He's been given a gag order. Even a terrorist was not given a gag order anywhere in the world. This is like ridiculous. Where, how would you stop a spiritual guru? He's not promoting violence. Even the terrorist didn't have a gag order, but you give a gag order. That's what Ganath Maya is saying. And then there is an Ayurveda which is contributing. There is a yoga which is contributing. There is a dhyana, the meditation which is contributing. So all these things, the legislation is controlling Hindus' rights. And for all these reasons, we want a sovereign, independent Hindu India. Okay, and that's an essence of, like, is continuously making the case and demonstrating the need for an independent, sovereign Hindu India. Hindu nation anywhere in the world, right? The India is all, even though it appears to be, and it perceived to be a Hindu-friendly majority, the Hindu-friendly leaders, Hindu-friendly constitution, Hindu-friendly laws, even though it's perceived in India and across the world, worldwide, but in fact, actually, Hindus are being persecuted in their own country, and that's why there is a case. That's why Sri Ganath Maya is saying that Hindus need an independent, sovereign country for Hindus, period. Everybody can come and live there, but that's what it says, peacefully. Somebody wants to pursue their, like the American ideals have that pursuit of liberty and, and peaceful coexistence, and then do whatever you want to do, and, without hurting others, right? And similar concepts, he says, Hindus do not feel they have the freedom to pursue their religion without being persecuted, curtailed, and legislated. And that's what he's saying. What, in addition to what you said, just I summarized for you, so just helped you out with what it is. So Gyanatmaya, so did Gauri Bharta and me summarize all the points what you made? Did we capture an essence, or did we miss anything? You want to add, modify your thing before he responds?
Yeah. So it's good. So the thing is, even in that extent, hey, it's not what I want, it's needed.
Yeah, oh, it's not wanted, it's needed, it's required, it's mandatory. That's what you feel, right?
It's not allowed. See, nearly 1 billion Hindus living in one country. Like if you look around the population of the United States, 370 million, Canada, 335 million. Near 1 billion. See, if you look at all the world religions, how many billions of followers they have, and 2 billion living Hindus around the world. 1 billion Hindus nearly in one country, but not legally allowed to teach Hinduism in your schools, in your public schools.
That's a pretty good argument, and for a case for an independent sovereign nation for Hindus. Okay, so I just want to take a little pause here, or a little quick break. Looks like there's a live program is happening from Swamiji. So you guys to turn over that one, and then we'll continue here discussion with Reno-san, right? And we can then, once that is there, we can switch back here. Right, that's a live program going. We can continue this program, but you can switch the to your live streaming if required. Okay, so that's the thing.